My friends, desde el Café Talk Show con mi querida Marta Hernández, para mí es un placer. And today is my pleasure, obviously, to speak with a good friend, kind of a friend already, and we're going to adopt him already. Even though his name is Attila Korosi. It's a filmmaker, director, but he's going to tell us what's going on. My friend Attila Korosi, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity, and to your staff as well.
Thank you very much, Saul. It's very great to meet you. Thank you for the support and for being here. So I'm very excited to talk with you.
It's my pleasure. You're going to share also your profits with us. Don't worry about it.
I have to, right?
My friend, you know, it is very interesting the way you are working your butt off hard. What makes you do that?
That's a good question, you know. I mean, I think I got it from my parents. You know, we grew up in a war. My father was taken to the battlefield, and my mom, she had to work 3 jobs just to be able to put food, support the family. And I'll tell you something, you know, when I was growing up in that times, I was the one who was always whining. Like, Mom, I don't like this food, I don't want to eat vegetables, I want candy. I didn't understand that there was a war, you know. And my mom said something. She said, son, never forget this time, because all this harsh life gonna give you energy, the fuel to do what you want to do later on in life.
Is this the way you choose the name to call this great movie, Live and Die?
Well, actually, Live and Die in East LA was a title chosen by the distributor, and which I supported. But yeah.
Was it kind of hard when you were living through your times in your country? What age was that?
Well, it was pretty much since I was 4 years old and up until like 11 or 12, because the war lasted over 10 years. It wasn't hard because you get used to it. And you know, when you're a kid and you grow up in a war, actually you have lots of fun because there is no school. You get to play outside all day. And just because life is tough, people are so much nicer to each other. You know, so it was a very peculiar times for us.
Compassion, empathy.
Exactly, lots of compassion, lots of kindness, and I was blessed actually because right now I'm always smiling. I always see the good in the people.
At that time you were kind of thinking, oh, someday I'm going to do something like this.
Actually, I was, because my father used to have a VHS business back in time. So we were watching lots of movies, and watching movies was actually one of our salvations. We liked watching movies. We loved watching American cinema, you know. And that is when I made a decision that, you know, Mom, Dad, I'm going to make movies one day. Not only movies, but I'm going to make movies in America.
So actually that was your motivation, that was like your school, that was like your university already at that age of 4, making your mind already said, good idea.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Absolutely. You know, but the hard part was later to come. Like growing up in my country, and then, you know, the people of my country burned down the U.S. embassy, so it was almost impossible to come to the States. And my family has no money and then no connections. So when I told my parents actually that I want to come to America and make movies, they were like, this is like a little dream.
You're crazy.
I'm crazy. Why you don't want to be a doctor or a teacher or something like that, you know? Because like going to America is like, you know, I want to go to Mars. Right. It's impossible, people say, yeah.
And that was your motivation. So when you came over here, do you have any money?
Well, yeah, I had lots of money. I had about $2,000 in my account, you know, which is a lot of money considering where I'm coming from, $2,000. But I did all kinds of jobs to survive.
At what age was that?
But let me tell you first how I came to America. I came to America, I was a runner. I became a runner, an athlete, because I heard if you're an athlete, you can get a full scholarship and come to America.
In order for you to kind of get your goals.
Exactly. So for me to become a filmmaker, I first had to become a runner, you know. And I'll tell you something. I didn't like running. I hated running, but I understood running is my only ticket. So I sacrificed. I liked soccer. I liked football. But you know, I became a runner, and then I became a good enough runner to get a full scholarship.
How long did that procedure took you?
About a year, under a year.
And then after that, then that's when you like came out and said, hey, this is my chance.
Exactly. I came to America, and I didn't want to study filmmaking because I always believed if you really want to do something, you have to do it by yourself. You have to teach yourself, So I studied accounting, business in college, because I wanted to learn the business side of filmmaking, the numbers.
And that age was, what age were you there?
I was about 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you actually had to kind of do your steps before you can come in as a filmmaker.
Exactly. I had to do step by step, which is why I'm so confident in my ability that I can solve any problem, just because I've been through so many things. And I don't look at it as like, oh, please feel sorry for me. Not at all. I'm very happy the life that I had.
You prepare yourself, you prepare the road in order to be a director, and were you an actor as well?
Well, we didn't know what does it mean to be a director. We don't know what is a writer. We don't know that there's a thing as a screenplay. We don't know these things. All we know is like actor. So if you want to make movies, that means you have to be an actor. So, but to answer your question, I was acting in this film, but I am not an actor. This was my first and last role in front of the camera. Naturally, my expertise is behind the camera. That's where I feel much more comfortable.
And how long did it take you to do the movie?
Well, this movie in particular took us about three and a half years to finish. Yeah.
Did you struggle?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a struggle, because even though when it was a struggle, I always welcome the challenge, because I really enjoy this journey, and that is why I'm confident, because if everything is like a smooth sailing and easy, it's hard to create something really good.
Were you able first like to get the funding to start working on it, or you didn't really care about that, you just simply started?
I didn't care about it, And let me tell you something.
So money was not the issue, really. You just wanted to start.
Well, money was not an issue, not because I had money. I never had money. But if I tell myself I cannot make a movie unless I have money, I'm never gonna start.
Very true.
We are living in an age that thanks to the cell phones, like cell phones can do like a very good video, right? So we are only limited by our desires, our discipline, our creativity. So I didn't let money hold me back, even if I didn't have any.
What is your goals?
My goal? Well, that's a pretty grand question. I cannot just answer it shortly. But let's just say I want to make one of the most influential movies of my generation.
Well, you started it. It means like you're in the right way.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then I always encourage people to, do what you want to do. Life is short. Before you know, it's over. So we have nothing to lose.
What would you tell these people here that are watching you to go see the movie, to encourage them to really, coming from another country, I'm sure without a green card,
Yeah.
like a lot of the Mexicans?
Well, I wouldn't say that without a green card, because as I said, I came to America with full scholarship.
Oh.
So it was actually America that reached out to me. But then once I was in America, it was like, I had nobody.
But you're working your butt off, like if you're really from the bottom, and to encourage your friends to do something, what would you tell them?
Well, just don't let harsh life stop you, Like, listen, I used to be a security guard. I used to work graveyard shift all night, then morning I don't sleep. I go straight to, do creative work. So you have to do those things because everybody does those things. Like James Cameron was a truck driver, for example, And if you want to make a movie, for example, because that's what I made, just go out and do it. It's not as hard and it's not easy. It's not gonna be easy. But if you really want to do it, you're gonna do it. Simple as that.
It's just gonna be like the movie. It's like Live and Die in East LA, so you can come through, no?
Yeah, absolutely. Live and Die in East LA. And I just want to say, like, this movie is like, it's very entertaining. It's a very suspenseful movie, but it is not a one-dimensional movie. Like when I made this movie, Saul, I wanted to create a piece of art that can be rewatchable multiple times. I don't want audiences to see the movie once and okay, that's it, and they forgot. This movie is not a McDonald's hamburger. It's not a fast food. You have to digest it. It's like a 5-star steak. You have to digest it, and if you work hard for it, you're gonna be rewarded mentally.
So actually, you already got your idea well planned. Your trade is actually doing movies from now on.
Yeah, doing movies from now on, exactly. And earlier you asked me what do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish? And I said, I want to be a very, very influential filmmaker, because I believe there is nothing that connects people better than art.